Welcome to the Battle of Psychics. This is round 3. We test people with supernatural abilities right before your eyes. We have 10 people who are willing to make everyone believe that miracles exist. They all really consider themselves psychics, but the strongest will win the battle. Mehdi Ibragini Wafa, the gift of clairvoyance came when Mehdi lived in the mountains. Hermit Egor Shemyakin was called a prophet. Already in childhood, Alexander Shelomentsev, by willpower, can disperse the cloud. Victoria Zheleznova, a descendant of Scandinavian magicians, received clairvoyance after her clinical death. Alexei Fat, voodoo sorcerer. Adelina Kareva, medium. Vadim Selin, gypsy scholar. Nadezhda Titova, hereditary sign. Sulu Iskander, a psychic from Kazakhstan who sees at a distance. Brand new tests await them. One among the 6 is a round orphan, but how can it be identified?
Don't afraid to look into my eyes.
Psychics in someone else's apartment and completely unknown. Who is the master in the house? We will ask for information. A mortal wound.
His presence remains, his soul stays.
Crime or suicide, what will the psychic reveal?
A significant murder.
Psychics claim that if a person from childhood is surrounded by the care and love of his family and friends, his aura shines. A real psychic, professional, will definitely notice this. But what happens to the aura if a person has never seen his parents? He was always called the round orphan. Can psychics see it? We have prepared a new test for them. Look closely at 6 young people, all of whom are already out of school age. Once grew up in happy families and studied in ordinary schools, everyone. Except for one, he spent his childhood among the cold government walls. He has never seen his parents. He does not know what the warmth of his native home is. He is a round orphan. Now you have a chance to test your intuition. Look closely at these faces. Maybe you can determine which of these young people is an orphan. In the near future, you will determine if intuition is... We initially conducted a test with a regular group of people to check the validity of our experiment before the clairvoyants arrived. We wanted to see if any of these 6 could be identified purely by observation, even by average individuals lacking psychic abilities.
Upon closer inspection, everything appears all right with the parents.
What if you look more closely?
The mustache, the beard, and the look itself convinced me that it is a specific man.
Each was guided by their own selection criteria.
Anyone is pleased.
Remarkably, 9 out of 10 participants identified the same man. They made an error. He's not an orphan. However, what will the clairvoyants conclude? Can they use their paranormal abilities to detect the energy of someone who spent 16 years in an orphanage? Observe our psychics, along with the unwavering experiment overseer, skeptical magician Sergei Safronov.
There are 6 people in front of you. 5 of them.
He was born and lived a happy life.
With his entire family. An orphan. Your task is to find it with... By the way, there is a personal item of our hero. I can lend it to you, but that's good for a while.
Well, I'm ready to wait, sir. I consider this a...
Now please stand up. Who we're looking for.
Forgery. Did it seem like a setup?
I didn't look specifically.
His name is Oleg Gulkanov. He spent all his childhood in an orphanage, and his parents never visited him or made any attempts to take the boy home. Now Alec, despite all life circumstances, is quite a successful person. He is a stuntman, specializing in film stunts, fights and gunfights, his profession. Iranian psychic Mehdi now faces a choice. Will he be able to feel? Which of these 6 did not know parental affection?
In an orphanage, I will make it. I don't know how they treat him in your responsible home. That is, it's other.
Well done.
Additionally, the chain of our hero turned for Mehdi.
And instantly, I sensed that the chain was his.
The psychic sensed that this thing played an important role in Alex's life.
At such moments, for example, if Portugal once did not fall through the mountains, we literally hung this chain on this grass. It seems like she withstood it weakly, and in the end she delayed my fall for a fraction of a second.
Psychic Alexander Shelomentsev decided to look for an orphan.
If the taste is delightful, it will be this individual.
And then the smell.
The person who is an orphan, well, it usually smells like the station there.
Having made his choice, Alexander wanted to give a gift to a person with an unhappy childhood. The Slavic sorcerer Alexei Fat, as always, came to the trials of the company of his constant assistants Goat and Tambourine.
First, I will remove those who are quite well off. I ruled out 4 candidates. I was looking for a lack of kinship, really close kinship in a person. This man did himself. He is doing something very strong. Would you know what I said? He was a stuntman? I might ask a question, but not to this person. A person I was suitable for. Let me ask you questions. Which parent have you recently lost?
I didn't lose any parents, just my mother abandoned me when I was a child.
This was a surprise for all of us. A young man named Konstantin was also in the orphanage, but he wanted to hide this information from us, since he does not consider himself an orphan.
I don't remember my mother in the house as a child. It's very small. And I only remember that father just...
But probably, this period in life still put his mark on Kostya. He was called the orphan psychics Egor Shemyakin and Olga Alexandrovna. The clairvoyant was very upset when she learned that she was wrong, and even burst into tears as soon as she left the set.
Please.
But Adalina Karaeva began the test very confidently.
Gentlemen, my only request is not to confine me. Do not be afraid and look me in the eye.
She appears to be a pleasant psychic. Adeline left a strong impression on Alec, and he chose to continue the acquaintance.
Thank you.
Thanks, I'd like a beer.
Not there's not wrong.
But the Adeline right now, Alika failed. Our trial continues. Nadezhda Titova entered a trance and turned to the spirit. The spirits were mistaken, Vadim Selin did not succeed, and Iskander immediately set her conditions with...
Open your ears. Put them on the ground. I will now give you a little heart. Feel that everything is fine now. There is definitely a sensation of, but I am what you. Where I don't like someone.
I'll check on the girl again.
It's a beautiful moment, certainly. And can I? It's your thing. I want to give it to you.
Love Noya.
Did you know everything?
Thus, our clairvoyant Sulu successfully managed to perceive other events in Alec's life.
I am unsure of what to do with the car. This is how it functions. The foot pedals indicate this, and the hands show that. Do you wish to purchase a car?
I recently bought a car literally 20 hours ago.
Our protagonist Alec was astonished and proceeded to continue testing the psychic.
What's my last name?
I don't know the last name. I know that the letter A goes... Well, this is probably not a last name, but a first name. Well, not common, huh?
A little later, it turned out that the flower that Sulu brought to the test also has to the fate of our hero. Direct relationship, yes, our last name.
Associated with a flower, since a flower in Tatar is Gulkanov.
Wow, it actually worked.
Definitely Alex Gulkanov.
The appearance of the flower in the hands of our clairvoyant Sulu turned out to be just a miracle for the whole crew. No one even suspected that the surname of our hero Alikov, in translation, means flower. Yes, the psychic continues to surprise us even more. Additionally, our tests are progressively becoming more difficult. Psychics in someone else's apartment. A real star lives here. What secrets will these walls tell?
There are significant changes in personal life.
The mysterious death of an officer has occurred. His family is desperate to uncover the truth.
Not the kind of man to shoot in his underwear while lying on a bed.
What insights will the clairvoyant offer about the final moments of this individual's life?
He sits like this, and then someone grabs him like this. Suddenly he's bewildered. To actually see this man?
Watch the exciting new Battle of Psychics. I'm Mikhail Porochenkov, presenting all our challenges for clairvoyance. We prepare everything in absolute secrecy. They never have any prior knowledge of what's to come, who they will meet, or what will be expected of them. This time, we simply inform them to be prepared to visit a location. In one of these apartments resides an individual whose name is famously recognized by everybody. Who he is and our psychic should feel just in the few minutes they spend in this living room. The owner of the apartment will be in the next room and will be able to observe everything that happens. For the purity of the experiment, we removed all personal belongings that could give away the owner. Therefore, the only thing a psychic can use is his own gift. Clairvoyant Nadezhda Titova is sent to the test.
This apartment is home to an intriguing and creative individual. Yes, oh, he enjoys twirling in front of this mirror.
I can perceive a blonde woman.
Like our Lera.
Host.
Is this Lera's apartment, our host?
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'm Lera.
Oh.
Yes, it is, and the fact that a person is creative, this is also, of course, a coincidence.
And still a woman indeed.
It's the two of us, and my husband is definitely here just as much as me.
I see.
Russian pop star Natasha Koroleva and her husband Sergei Glushko bought this apartment 3 years ago because of their busy touring schedule. Spouses are rarely at home together. Now Natalia will be alone to monitor the continuation of the tests.
Here, laughter sounds extremely loud. I want to sing. Really very interesting and exceptionally beautiful. My answer is that there lives a beautiful woman here who watches her figure, of course, her short stature. She catches her dimples here when she laughs very loudly. Now men are popping out. This apartment is a woman, and she has a tall man, long flowing hair. The chest voice is such an insanely charming man. A man, for some reason, asks him to be called a man. Oh, hello there, Natasha.
I have
The man, I know his dimples.
And this.
Yes, but this is only probably for close friends, right?
But these are the characteristics of nationality, and therefore here, of course, when there is control, then I speak well without.
The next psychic could not say anything new to the star's house. Although the most sophisticated methods were used, someone was lying on the floor. Someone from the owner's cup. There was a lack of information. There were also those who couldn't see the singer clearly, even after a face-to-face contest.
This is Natalia Koroleva, right?
Hell, I didn't really recognize her.
I get the impression that the owner of this apartment is a dark-haired singer. This woman creates music. There is one child, exactly a boy.
Correctness, well done.
This apartment is not unique. They also own a house just outside Moscow, near Moscow.
Very correct.
Built a playground with his own hands.
Indeed.
This is a real fact.
Life companion is not one, but two. Now she shares her life with two she loves, possibly in this apartment. The owner spends little time. And the time is not spent here, somewhere else.
Hello, hello, hello. You are such details. Explain that it is clear that this only needs to be seen, felt, because naturally in this apartment it is impossible to feel it. That really such a little transshipment base is not the main one. What struck me the most was about the playground. This fact was somehow so completely unexpected for me that it's not that I built a house, it's clear, but that it's not easy for a person to know a playground.
Until that fateful day arrived, Natalia was a skeptic of clairvoyance. However, certain revelations have piqued her growing interest.
Personal life transformations and betrayals are on the horizon.
A tall and graceful girl.
Slender, fair-haired girl said.
And now I'm beginning to grow increasingly concerned about the potential presence of a certain blonde here after all.
Sorcerer Alexei Fat asked the family spirits for information about the inhabitants of the apartment.
Thanks to Shanager. Absurd song. Black tulips. Oh, all the heartbreaking separation.
One idiot? Could you ask him why do you think an idiot, please?
So why idiotic? Bright yellow tulips. Natasha Koroleva, the famous singer. There is no feeling of a constant female presence. The author of the song, Nikolaev Tarzan Tanzam. Tanzam, well, he is not the author of the song. They gave the song. The only information they gave was the song. Most likely it could be an apartment. Igor Nikolaev. Well, what might happen if you disappoint me?
A delicate bunch of yellow tulips. You were so close, why Igor Nikolaev's apartment?
Why hasn't he shown up here?
Well, you have a point. This apartment does seem somewhat...
He's not here, you know.
We scarcely ever find ourselves here. In another place, well, one who immediately named this song with a clear name, somehow yellow tulips popped up. Really, why is she stupid?
Our psychics have their last, most difficult task. A woman turned to our program with the last hope of finding out the truth about her husband. What clairvoyance will say about a man whom they have not seen and do not know, especially since this person has long been dead. Lyubov Kopach really wants to know how her husband Vladimir died a year ago. In her bedroom, she found the body of her husband with a gunshot wound to the head. The inquest determined that the lieutenant colonel took his own life. However, his family maintains he was actually murdered.
The head of Kashersky's department approached me and said, this is not suicide, this is murder.
Can psychic mediums reveal what transpired in this apartment on July 20th of the previous year?
I perceive it at hand. You would listen carefully to this message.
Will he be able to discern the exact circumstances surrounding Vladimir Kopach's death in this location?
I see it does, but the person himself with such a head, unable to shoot, which probably demonstrates a real impact.
The blood.
This Battle of Psychics is a television program that tests people with supernatural abilities. Now we have 10 psychics, but at the end of this program, you will learn the name of the person for whom our battle will end today. Ahead is the last decisive, most difficult test. Officer's wife. This title, loved, has always worn with special pride. The happy woman did not even suspect that one day she would have to become an officer. July 20th, 2006. Love, as usual, returned home from work. Going into the bedroom, the woman experienced a real shock on the bed. She saw her husband's bloody body. Police Lieutenant Colonel Vladimir Kopach died from a gunshot wound to the head.
There's a large amount of blood on the floor here, and in the area, there's a significant wound on the ceiling. I saw numerous marks.
Blood.
The green card that was on the pillow, a few feet from where the leg lay a gun.
Inspecting the scene of the incident, police and prosecutors immediately came to the conclusion that Lieutenant Colonel Kopach committed suicide. Other versions were not even considered.
I received a call probably around 7:00 p.m. About 9. I was already here at the apartment. That is, the body has already been taken away. Everything has already been described. Everything has already been closed.
Those close to Vladimir are sure that the officer who passed through Chechnya, having combat awards, simply could not shoot himself.
He's not the kind of person to shoot in his underwear while lying on the bed. It's just not for him. Yes, in general, it's just not in his character. I can give 200%, maybe even more, that it wasn't him who did it, that it was custom-made.
Murder. Vladimir Kopach worked in the Department for Combating Economy Crimes in the Moscow region.
My husband told me literally before he died, he says, I need to leave there urgently. I say, I've never seen anything like this anywhere before. Either steal with them or they'll just take you away.
The Lieutenant Colonel's son really hopes to unwind this. The psychic is going to assist everyone in ultimately discovering the exact truth about how Vladimir passed away.
It is important for Kopachev to defend the dignity of his father, that he could not do, that this is simply slander, a strange level of power.
Vadim Selin is the first to begin the psychic test. Will he be able to see Lieutenant Colonel Kopach die?
Hello? My name is Lyubov Vladimirovna.
Very nice, Vadim.
Vladimir, come in, please. What exactly transpired on July 20th?
2006.
You can walk around in this room, feel everything within it, and in essence, the entire room is completely at your disposal.
There was a girl here.
No.
For some reason, words like corpse, pregnancy, and childbirth came to my mind. I don't know what this has to do with. I think something happened. Here is the ghost of man. I think something specifically affected the man's head. I sensed some kind of pulsation in my own head. Maybe it was caused by a gunshot or something similar. However, the energy in this place is extraordinarily bad. This apartment needs thorough cleaning. It is unfit for living people, as the soul of the deceased still lingers here. I truly can't say anything at this moment.
Thank you.
The psychic Vadim Selin saw in this cozy room the death of a man from a gunshot wound to the head. But he never told how it happened and who was guilty of the death of the officer. And clairvoyant Victoria Zeleznova presented her version of what happened immediately.
Gentlemen?
He's in the room. There is not a single witness.
The last.
Thinking about a woman is suicide. To ensure they don't contemplate this, he asserts that no one is at fault. That's the reality. There is no murder in any way.
This test to our clairvoyance with tremendous difficulty, even at the very doorstep of the apartment where the incident occurred. Iskander felt unwell.
Hello, I'm standing here a little. There was also some kind of tragedy.
Blue?
Can I stay now for a minute?
Do whatever it takes.
The situation is related to death. I see men
give you a photo.
Or your husband.
The act of murder is indeed murder, correct? You see occupation.
I see in uniform.
Give you a photo in uniform.
I could already feel the eerie taste of death and blood. I believe there's a firearm here. Body as if it were his, and your head as if not his. Man did not possess himself. I just see a gun in his hands, but a man himself with such a head could not shoot. Impact is likely to show impact. The order was from the male side and hypnotically. A woman
did.
Remote control, you know? It's really possible.
It's like he do it all by himself.
It's murder.
I've already provided you with plenty of information. There's nothing more I can share.
Even if there was some sort of hypnosis or control from the phone, he still wouldn't be able to accomplish it.
Slavic sorcerer Alexei Fat, finding himself in the apartment, Kopach first drew attention to the bed.
We was to sit on that bed to do this by.
For what particular reason could that be?
That it is very repulsive, that is murder is taking place, that is the deprivation of life from everything else. A woman or a girl, at least not an old one, the strongest love seal is a man. Being older than her, I mean by those people having some sort of connection.
Alexei Fat never got to see what happened in that room on July 20th, 2000. Managed to do this to Alexander Shalomentsev. However, either accidentally or intentionally, this psychic managed to sense other intricate details of Lieutenant Colonel Kopach's life.
He happens to be a military man holding the rank of a colonel. This lieutenant colonel, he should have been or 1.5 months or 1.5 years he should receive a colonel. Now he gives information that he threw himself out the window.
Listen, Alexei, thank you very much. Alexander. Oh, Alexander, sorry.
Well, I understand who is blocking my information. The sorcerer who was previously... It's Alexei, that is. He came in now, and he's hiding information from me. A week has already been going on. Such a struggle that you feel at night.
Clairvoyant Olga Alexandrova, as it turned out, was also interfered. But not the magical powers of other psychics, but our film crew.
The guys interfering.
They killed...
Except there was no bed here.
Psychic Yegor Shemyakin reached the identical conclusion. Moreover, he proclaimed that the bed certainly had no connection to this unfortunate event.
It's definitely not on the bed. Could be connected to the window? No.
Clairvoyant Nadezhda Titova was in a trance state for a very long time, but this did not help her see the picture of what happened. and psychic Adelina Karaeva wanted to tell the widow of the deceased officer about what kind of person Vladimir Kopach was.
The man believed.
He cherished his faith in God.
Hunting.
He's got some sort of sport under his care.
He did hand-to-hand combat is very close. Boxing, you have doctors, someone was by education, so it's you who went to me. There was intensive care in the hospital.
He was in the intensive care unit.
Part of his head is darkened. I don't know if it was hit or an accident, his head. It hurts.
His left side.
He simply contacted the wrong people. He was framed.
He was framed, not a suicide. I see a stranger here, and I'm certain because I've encountered such situations before. Don't be afraid. Just relax.
Need
Initially, when I entered here, I saw such a picture, like this. A person is sitting like this, he is being grabbed, and then like this in a bang, and like this, cruelly. I can see it like a hand. This is how it says, you listen here, but the person is so confused.
He did not expect to see this person. This is a person who was here. Well, he was here before.
I certainly did not expect this.
This way.
At midnight, our final psychic, Mehdi Ibragin Wafa, appeared at the Kopach house and immediately began his work.
A man.
A man.
Oh, dear God.
In short, killed. Blood.
Blood.
Where?
And
yes. Are you correct?
everything.
Are we going out now for a minute? He is on duty.
Held 2 shots. Continued to move even after everything.
Iranian clairvoyant Ibragini Wafa ignored the terms of the project. Still, he left the test site, but literally a few minutes later he returned. He decided to tell the details of this terrible crime. Most importantly, he saw criminals.
Another like this one.
W.
Exclude one Kopach kid.
The tests to which our psychics are subjected are difficult to call simply tests. People turn to us asking for real help. Sometimes we don't have the right to refuse them.
For our help,
the widow addressed the program.
Lyubov Kopach. Her husband, Lieutenant Colonel, died right in his apartment from a gunshot wound to the head. The investigation came to a conclusion.
That it was suicide?
But close believe he was killed. They really hope to find out the truth about the death of Vladimir Kopach from a psychic. Clairvoyant Ibragina Wafa immediately felt the energy of death. He even showed the place in the room where there was a puddle of blood. But suddenly, Mehdi categorically refused to continue the tests. For almost 20 minutes, the psychics talked on the landing without cameras, after which Mehdi still returned to the apartment.
Open it, lift the mattress.
Under the mattresses, we saw not only the place where there were once 2 pools of blood, but also a bullet mark.
We entered one past. Your husband got looked, so he held. And 2 round pistols.
The shot fired.
We stood for 45 seconds, so there's blood here. He's professional. Yeah, I don't know what it's called in Russian. It's clear to me that you were late. Look, you're lucky you were almost gone.
Indeed, after the death of her husband, Lyubov Kopach was very afraid for her own life. She was constantly threatened by unknown people. For 3 months after the funeral, he was guarded by riot police.
Phone calls followed one another. These calls continued until 2 to 3 a.m. with words like, "Die bitch." They thought that I had some information that led to my husband's death. We surpassed everyone and everything. We feel just satisfaction, huge kind of support. Surpassed everyone. I just didn't expect him.
I don't want to scare anyone. I want to be cold. Not extra sexy.
The words of the Iranian clairvoyant really shocked us all. Mehdi doesn't like to talk about himself and doesn't like being called extraordinary. But I know one person who will tell us the whole truth about him. We'll see him in a few minutes.
On the jury board.
So, dear colleagues, the jury board is about to begin its work. Based on the results of today's tests, we must choose the best psychic and the person who will leave our project. I know that the recent tests for psychics have been especially challenging. Lyubov Vladimirovna.
Most of all, of course, I was surprised by the word, where I was immediately told that a cop had been killed and that it was a contract killing. He showed us the entire chronology of that crime, which was step by step. He clearly said how they walked what. Two stated that this issue is connected to drugs, exactly here.
Drugs. A very interesting personality. He has lived in Moscow for 13 years. He is studying at a medical institute. He was born in a remote village in Iran, and he now asks to be called the Mighty, because that's what his great-grandfather, who had the gift of clairvoyance, was called. At the age of 18, he experienced a sudden transformation, moved to the mountain for 3 years, living alone among the snow and wolves. He claims to have known little about himself and the world. Initially, the mountain eagles threw a stone at him. He rose after the eagle to the top of the mountain, and there he realized that the moment had come when his grandfather gave him his gift.
But in the tests under the code name Orphan Mehedin, it seemed, I must say, that the results were also good. But in general, Alexei Fat impressed me the most about this upbringing. Black magic in general, yes, this is a very dangerous person in my opinion. But at the same time, he came out very interesting, and within a few seconds he said exactly this hero. Moreover, only Fat even pointed out another person who also spent some time in the orphanage. He felt it too, and I believe that Alexei Fat was better at this test.
Let's decide the winner for this week.
I think he's...
I've heard so much fascinating and unexpected information about Mehdi today that I'm utterly lost.
Like this.
Intrigue. The name of the best psychic is known only to me, but nevertheless, we move on to the most difficult part, which is choosing.
The weakest, Seryoz. It's like rubbing your hands. Yes, it's a favorite activity.
It seems to me that the weakest psychic this week is Alexandrova Olga, showing very weak results. She doesn't call. Personally, I have no trust. She's very insecure. She constantly cries when I don't work out for her. She frustrates me. She's very
upsetting.
Worried, of course, so I believe that. We need to assist Olga and end our relationship with her.
Of course, Olga Alexandrova gives the impression of a weakened psychic, and indeed, in each test is given with great difficulty. But I would put Shemyakin in first place for weaknesses. Yegor, he works in no way as a psychic, but as a person who has psychological analysis and includes intellectual and sensory abilities.
Olga indicated that a woman was killed in the apartment, and Yegor pointed out that a man threw himself out of the window. Here's what I want.
A failure.
Complete mismatch.
Well, Alexandrova, Olga, and Shemyakin, Igor, or let's decide. Well, thank you. I consider the board of the jury closed, and I myself go to psychics. At the appointed time in the appointed place. Psychic, I am prepared to announce the jury's verdict. As usual, I have 2 envelopes, with the white one containing the photo of the psychic named the best of this week. I will now open the white envelope.
I extend my sincere gratitude to all my friends, the jury, for allowing me to demonstrate my abilities.
I inform you that the black envelope contains the photographs of the psychic who will be departing our project today. I will now call out this individual. Shemyakin Igor.
Psychic battle, exciting fun.
Thank you very much for your participation.
It's a pity, Yego, that this battle.
For you ended so early. I wish you good luck and everlasting happiness.
Thank you. I was genuinely captivated here, discovering many new things. It was fantastic to develop the gift. Without a doubt, we will pursue this exclusively for ourselves.
Dear viewers,
I want to report.
The battle of psychics continues. Stay tuned and watch.
New exciting trials await every Sunday on TNT. Don't miss it.